Yeah. So good morning all. So yeah, is it fine, right? Yeah. So good morning, students. So myself Premkasi. I hope you got a bit of introduction about myself, and maybe I'll also give a brief introduction about me, like my the experience I do have, the other things, the achievements that I possess. It will be few, but I'll just share it, right? And just to brief up the particular agenda for today. I'll be going through the next 2 hours. The first 1 hour, 15 minutes, I would like to invest on blockchain. The next 45 minutes, I would be talking on RPA. I think you might be having a little introduction about this. Some of you might be knowing what is RPA or what is blockchain, but I'll make it very simple. And let me give a disclaimer. I'll not be using any technical stuff so that it will be very easy for all of you to understand. And also, just to make the session interactive, I'll be asking some questions. Yeah, very few. Yes or no. Maybe if you feel it is, if you guess it or if you feel it as yes, you can just say it as yes or no. It is no. Yeah, simply it's just yes or no kind of stuff, not much technical stuff. Okay. So let me start the PPT. Right. Okay, so here we go. For the next 1 hour, 15 minutes, completely on a blockchain. It's on a fundamental kind of level. And the next, it is going to be on RPA. And just to make the session interesting, I would like to ask you some other questions. And I would also like to play some videos so that you'll be able to visualize more, right? So first of all, let me thank the entire team, Department of Commerce and the entire Loyola College and St.Ann's College for giving me this opportunity. And special thanks to Manikanta sir and Anuradha madam for coordinating for all the arrangements till today. So with that, let's start the session, right? So for all the sessions I would be taking, I would like to make it more interactive. Again, I'm just telling it once again so that you can understand and grab more, right? So yeah, so just let's start with the game, or it's a funny quiz. Okay, right? So you can see the image, right? I'll be displaying two images, and I just want from audience and all the students to say both are same or no. If it is same, say yes. If it is not same, say no. Simple. Okay. So I think I think I can hear you all. You can say yes or no, right? So carefully observe. This is the image one. Okay. So in the image one, you can see a beautiful bridge, right? And a river flowing under the bridge. And yeah, you can see people using it as well. Correct? Yeah, because the lights are on, so that it is being used by someone or the people, right? So here comes the image too. Okay, so here you can see, I can see it's like a bridge is there, but it is not. It is completely felt useless, and no people are using it, and even the river is not even flowing down the bridge, right? So here comes the question: are those same? Yeah, the first image, the second image, are those same? Again, once again. Can I get some response? Maybe you can simply say yes or no. I'll be able to hear you all. Yeah. Maybe the host can say me it's a majority of the decision is yes or no. Yeah. Image one, image two. Right? Is it yes or no? What the majority says? Maybe I can see this audience. Yes. Can you raise the hands? Yes. Both are same. Oh, I see a few. It's not the majority. What about no? Yeah, I'm again showing the images. How many people are no? Okay, I think no is the majority here, if I'm right, correct? But I'll go with option one. It is yes, both are same. Let me show you, both are absolutely same. So what is something that we can learn from these exercises, or let me give an introduction about this. It's a Honduras bridge, which is built across the river called Chotlega, somewhere in the United States. Okay. So what does this metaphor says to us? It says that it is not us, it is the external environmental changes or the external technical changes that makes us obsolete, that makes us not so updated, that makes us useless. Correct? So the problem is not at all with the bridge. It just stayed at the place it was constructed. Yes. What has happened is it's the river that has changed the direction. See, the river has changed the direction. It has gone to extreme right. And as a result, what has happened? The bridge is useless and none of the people are using it. So what is the best example or the best thing that we can learn from this beautiful metaphor is that we need to build ourselves not to lose, but to last ever. So that is something possible once we are updated with the external environmental changes or the technical updates that are happening around us. I'm going to tell you what is that something that we need to update, right? We do have all the academic knowledge. We do have all the bookish knowledge or the theoretical knowledge, right? What we need to have is to get updated with the current industry requirements, just to have a job, just to set our practice, just to set our professional advisory, something, whatsoever you are dreaming it. If you want to do it, you are someone who should get updated with the all these technical updates so that that will give you the competitive advantage. Agree with me? Or did I say something wrong? Correct. Now we can have, see, just to talk about my academics. I'm a state's second ranker in 2012, entire Andhra Pradesh plus Telangana. But that doesn't give me a good job. What has given me a good job is the learning attitude. Yeah, I was updated with the technology updates each and every time a new technical word I'm able to hear, right? So the same thing I would like to tell you all, please get updated yourself with all the technical terms, at least a basic understanding. I don't see please go through in depth. No, we are not developers, we are not a technical people, we are all the commerce background, right? So we are acting as a subject matter experts in driving these projects, right? So in the next 1 hour 45 minutes, be with me. I'm going to give you answer for everything on a easy terms, non-technical terms, right? So just my promise, by the end of this particular session, you will be able to understand what exactly is blockchain. Let me remodify. You will be able to visualize what is blockchain, not understand. Great. So with that, let's move ahead. So till now we understand that we need to get updated. Perfect, sir. We need to get updated. We all agree. But with what we need to update it? That's the next question, right? So here comes the answer. We need to get updated with these four technical terms, which are called A, B, C, D of digital world, right? So what is A, B, C, D? Yeah. So this is what the classification I have given. A for automation. What is automation? Definitely last 45 minutes, I'm going to talk only on this automation, right? So B for blockchain, which is the current topic that we are going to discuss. What is C? Cryptocurrencies, right? So here comes the question. How many of you have invested in cryptos? Just a poll of hands. Okay, I see very few, but good, right? So that C is for cryptocurrencies and D for data analytics, which you might be knowing, or it's in the other term, it is DeFi for blockchain enthusiasts, it is DeFi. So you can have a career or you can have a in-depth analysis on any of these two. Plus, you should have a general understanding on all these things: automation, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and data analytics, right? So in this session, I'm going to cover the first two, which is automation and a blockchain. Right. So just a brief about me. I'm a chartered accountant and a company secretary, a dear friend of Manikanta sir, and I'm an RPA and the blockchain enthusiast. Yeah. The RPA, this is my previous job, and the blockchain is something I'm currently working in Hyderabad. Right. So I worked as a project manager for implementing RPA in Bahrain. Right. And I used to collect the blocks or the use cases of blockchain, which are being implemented by these enterprises like TCS, Amazon, or even IBM or whatsoever, right? So I'm a fintechy, I'm an accountant, but I'm a fintechy more, right? So let's start this session with that introduction, with that beautiful metaphor example. Okay. So in the next 1 hour, I'll be, yeah, time is 11:15. In the next 1 hour up to 12:15, I'm going to cover more on the blockchain, right? So this is the agenda. So why blockchain? So I'll never start with what is blockchain first, because we need to understand why it is so required. Once we understand why it is required, then we'll have an open mind to explore what exactly is blockchain. Or if I directly tell you what is blockchain, why for me? Right? Why for me? I don't want. I'm a commerce background guy. I'm a finance guy. Why I need to deal with the technology? No. Let us understand why first. And once we know why, with that questioning mind, let's see what. Okay. And further expanding, let's understand how, if you are so interested to deep dive. Got it? So this is the principle we follow. First, understand why, then what, then how. You will be an expert once we know how. Yeah, perfect. So that's the second agenda. The third point is Bitcoin and blockchain. I'm going to give you an introduction or a differentiation between what is Bitcoin and what is blockchain. Yeah, we might be having we might use it as a substitute word. Sometimes we'll call it blockchain, sometimes we'll call it a Bitcoin technology, and we end up getting confused, or we end up getting things confused. So I'll be differentiating what is Bitcoin and the blockchain. And next comes smart contracts. What is this smart contracts? We know the contracts, right? But what is smart in it? I'll be going to explain you with an example. And once we know all these fundamentals, I'll be discussing with you what are the types of blockchains. And also, just to make it more interesting, I'll give a very live example of a college or an institute which has implemented blockchain. Okay, and just the history or the just the other points, blockchain in India, what is happening in India, and what is happening especially with Hyderabad or the Telangana, right? So that is something I'm going to discuss, and I'll give you a brief on the use cases. And the last and the most important thing, what are the roles for finance professionals like us? Yeah, with this knowledge where we can implement is something I'm going to discuss, right? So yeah, perfect. Okay, so starting with why, a question, why blockchain? Yeah. So just to ask you a question. Yeah. Again, it's a question you need to show by vote of hands. Do we really need an extra technology like a blockchain? Because just imagine we have all the technologies in place, right? If I want to transfer amount to say your college, your principal, I can do it with a phone pay. 1 second, hardly 2 seconds, or say 5 seconds, bro. Right? If I want to know about a product, I can scan it via a QR code and can see the history. Yeah, if I want, say let's go with a more practical example. I'll pick one of the student and I want to see his educational credentials, whether he has passed 10th, he has passed 12th, he has passed BCom or whatever, PG or whatever courses. If I want to know up educational credentials of a person, how can I do? I can definitely refer to the certificates. Maybe that can be online, that can be offline, and I can say this guy is certified. Correct. So what I'm trying to point is that we do have all the technologies in place. We do have all the easiest ways to do a task. That can be money transfer, that can be verifying a KYC, that can be verifying a person's educational credentials, verifying a product journey. Flipkart, it just gives the end-to-end journey. Correct. You ordered, you delivered. Completely the journey will be taken. Or say Apple product, if I want to know that okay, this particular iPhone is genuine or not, I can simply scan the product code, or I can give the product ID. I can see the history from its own website. Correct. So we do have all this, and what is something lacking here? Yeah, I can easily transfer, I can easily maybe talk about hardware. I can do all the analysis, or I can do all the programming, everything I can do. But what is something that India needs or the world needs? Why blockchain? I do have all the encryption mechanisms. I can safely store the data in databases. Correct. But why is it really required to learn about some new technology right now? Right. So before getting the answer, let us see some data hacks that are happening. Correct. Right. So just to make it interesting, I have already opened some of the slides, some of the web links, right? So here you can see Domino's data hack. It has happened in the last year, May. One of the biggest data hack ever happening. 13 TB of data, bro. 13 TB of data got hacked. Just imagine 13 TB of emails, phone numbers, CVV numbers, credit card details, debit card details, all this stuff, housing address, delivery address, all this stuff. Just imagine 13,000 TB of, say, this textual document, how many records? It ends up getting into crores and crores of numbers, right? Customers, right? So that is what happened with Domino's. Yeah, just to give it a read. So these people have hacked 13 TB of Domino's data and they are selling it for free. What is it for free? Yes, it is for free, and they will be selling it on the dark web. Yeah, dark web. Yeah, you might be knowing it. What is dark web? It's an internet place, secret internet place where people can exchange information, do some ridiculous activities, do some crimes with the exchange of cryptos. Correct. You can explore what is dark web post this session. You will be knowing what is happening there, right? So we do have specific architectures or browsers to access that. Using that, these people are doing it. Yeah. So I'll ask you questions definitely. Please listen to me very carefully. I'm going to ask you the questions. So this is something happened with dark web. Sorry, Domino's. Okay. So you can see 180 million order, 180 million order details, right? And yeah, let's go to the next example because we don't have time just to expand more. Okay. So this is something happened with Air India. Air India, one of the biggest airlines we all know, right? So here what has happened, 4.5 million people's data got stolen, right? And half of them are from India. Okay. And the best thing is the notice comes after 2 full months. What is happening? Air India, such a biggest airlines, or the Domino's, such a biggest company, or such a biggest companies in respective countries. So what is happening with these people? Are they having no time to invest in data security? The answer is absolutely no. These people are very big players. If someone says that they don't have a technology, that is foolish. That is absolutely wrong. Correct? So let's say some other air players as well. See Lufthansa, Air New Zealand, Cathay Pacific. All this data is getting stolen. Even the last year we got stolen. The NSL data is stolen, right? So just to give you a live example, in front of you, I'm going to search data hacks. Let's see how many has happened in the last 1 month. Yeah, I'm going to news. Hope you're able to see my screen. I'm just going to news and see. Yeah, see Plex, there is a data hack. Yeah, some health records are getting stolen. 4 million data got exposed in the last July month, right? Yeah, these guys stole 37 million from a bank, might be, right? So why these are happening? Why these data hacks are happening? Are these companies like a Facebook, like LinkedIn, even these people are undergone these data hack victims? Even the LinkedIn as well, even the Zoom. Whenever we are in COVID times, we are used to use Zoom a lot, and there is a data hacks. People used to come in between the meetings and used to disturb, create some ruckus and go, right? And also the best thing, they are routing these particular databases via China. Even that news is also there. So what is happening with these companies? Are they unable to invest and secure the data? How many of you feel that yes, these companies are very cash crunch and they are not able to invest? Or what is the real reason? The real reason is the technology that we have is unable to fulfill our requirements. Agree with me? It's not with the cash flow. It's never with the cash flow. These companies are rich enough. They can get the highest level of encryption. They can get the highest level of data storage technologies, and they can definitely do it. But despite their efforts, the companies are getting hacked. Just give it a thought. What is happening? Right? So even let me give a very practical example. The other example, the other data got stolen. I can see this news close to 2 months back. Yeah. So why these big players are being the victims of this data? Because the technology is not something robust, right? Yeah. So due to these hacks, two things are missing, or despite having the best technologies, two things these technologies are unable to give to us. Let me disclose with you what are those two things these technologies are unable to give us, right? So the first thing is, yeah, can you guess what is the first thing? I'm already showing the image. I just want the term. What is that these technologies are unable to give us? Yeah, of course, the second one is already disclosed. It is the trust. There is no trust. I don't trust my bank saying that, okay, my money is secured. How many of you feel that your money is secured in the bank, despite you using Google Pays, OTPs, all those stuff? How many of you feel? Can I get a raise of hands? And let me give a statistics also, right? How many of you feel that your money is secure? How many of you feel that your data that you are sharing in the internet, that can be Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, is so secure that you can rely on and store your personal information? How many of you, right? So just to give a statistics, a survey has been conducted in the US. I'm not exactly remembering the name, but there it was told that only 13% of the people are sure that their data is secure. So what about the remaining 87%? They know that their data is not at all secure, right? So that is the statistic I just want to quote in this relevant example. So what is the first thing is security. So there are two things which is missing despite we using all the technologies. One thing is security, other thing is the trust, right? So we require a new technology. We require a new mechanism or the algorithm or the software, whatever you say, we require that. And that is something is called blockchain, right? So till now we understood why we need a technology. Now we'll be able to see what is such a technology, right? I think that was good, right? I'm just taking it in a story mode so that you people can grab non-technical terms. Great. Okay. So let me tell you what is blockchain now. Yeah. So keep these things in mind. What is something we lost? We lost the trust. We lost the security. I'm going to connect the dots by giving an example of blockchain. And I'm going to connect the dots by telling how these two things are granted by the blockchain. Right. So I'm taking it in the slow passion so that you will be able to grab it. Right. So what is blockchain? If you search in the Google, you'll get a lot of definitions, a lot of technical stuff you'll be getting. Let's ignore all those stuff. Let's understand what is blockchain. right? Let's understand, is it a software, is it a hardware, is it a database, is it an algorithm, or is it a kind of a code, right? So let's understand what is this. Simple, bro. Blockchain is a kind of database, as simple as that. Let's not complicate stuff. Blockchain is simply a database where your data is stored. That's it, right? So is it so simple? For that only we are sitting and understanding this much? No, bro. It's a database, that is for sure. This database is having a special features so that it is unique, so that it is able to give the trust, so that it is able to solve the security issues. So what are those special features is something I'm going to tell you. Keep it very simple. Blockchain is nothing but a database or simply a network of computers. Correct? Of course, we don't know what is a database. Database is a huge pool of the data warehouses, we can call, or it's a huge pool of hard disks, we can say in the simple terms. Correct? So hard disk, say 10 computers are forming into a network, and those 10 computers hard disk is accumulated to save the data. Correct? So such a kind of technology is called a blockchain. But what are the special features, sir? You mentioned special features. Why you are not discussing? Let me tell you now. Those special features are, it's a distributed technology. It's a distributed network. What is distributed? I'm going to explain you. Next special feature is, it is transparent. It is secure. It is immutable. Just remember these four special features. So what are these? Distributed, transparent, secure, immutable. What is distributed, right? So can I say this way? Instead of Domino storing the data in a central location, in a central database, why can't it store in hundreds and hundreds of computers? So how that will make a difference? I'll tell you. Just for imagination, imagine distributed means that copies of the data will be stored across the systems, across millions and lakhs of systems. So there is no single database. There is no single owner of the database. Correct? So the first feature of blockchain is, it is distributed, right? So why it is, what is the benefit it is going to give you? I'm going to tell you. The second one is transparent, which means that any information being stored on a blockchain is verifiable to the relevant parties. Correct? No, that is what something lacking. Correct? I can't completely rely on the information because someone is changing the database records and it is giving me that result when I scan a product. Correct? That's what happening. If I want to say I'm buying a fake iPhone, I can give the number on it and I can see that the product is genuine on the website. But is it really genuine? No, because the seller might have paid to the hacker and hacker might have changed the records in the Apple database. And that's what happening. Even you can see someone due to issue with the ticket refund, he has hacked the IRCTC website and make it denial of service attacks. Right? You can search all these things in the Google, and this is what something happening. A single person, maybe he is hiring some hackers and he is able to hack the particular database and make it non-accessible to the public, right? And in the other case, they're hiding the records and people are not in a position to verify the records. But here with the blockchain, you can verify this particular record. Sir, what you are saying, you are telling it's a transparent, but I want private, I want privacy. How that will happen? So I don't want to use blockchain. No, it is accessible, it is transparent to the relevant parties. You will have the complete power to share to whom you want to share the credentials, you want to share the visibility. You can do that. And with that particular thing, blockchain is something which is transparent. Next, it is highly secure. Sir, how you can say highly secure? Because of the technical feature that it is using. It is using a hash mechanism called SHA-256, due to which it is highly secure. I'm going to demo you how that particular encryption works in a few minutes. Okay, that will make you more interesting, so that don't listen to me in theoretical words, just visualize. I'm going to show you the demo on how the data will be stored on a blockchain. Okay, so that I'll be able to show you how it is so secure, right? Despite person accessing the information, he will not be able to decrypt that. I'm going to show you live. Okay, next, it is something immutable. Sir, what is this? If I write Prem is a mad guy in a blockchain, can't I reverse? No, you can never reverse it. Imagine, apply this particular example to any use case: accounting record, people's records, students educational data, something. If you write on a blockchain, that can never be erased because of the encryption features, because of the protocols it is using. If I discuss all those technical stuff now, it will go above our head, so I'm not going to discuss. I'm going to just explain you the unique features of blockchain. First thing is distributed, which you already know. It is something like, instead of data being at a central location, it will be spread across multiple locations. Multiple in the sense, say thousands, lakhs, crores of nodes or crores of computers will be hosting that information. That is called distributed network. Or I can say decentralized, because no person is the single owner. I'm the owner of the blockchain, Domino's blockchain. Manikanta will be the owner, or someone will be the owner. Someone of you will be also the owner, so that every one of us are maintaining that network. So even if a person hacks Manikanta's computer and makes it unhackable, request will come from my node, my computer, or request will come from your computer, so that public can use it completely with no denial of service attacks. Right? It is a distributed concept. It is a decentralized concept. Distributed means data is storing at multiple locations. Decentralized means no single person is the owner. In the Domino's case, what is happening? Domino's is the central authority who is hosting that, and these systems are getting hacked, and as a result, our data is lost, and we are not able to place orders in the Domino's website. Right? And what is transparent? As you know, records can be verified to by relevant parties in the blockchain. Next, highly secure because of the hash mechanism, which I'm going to show you, and it is immutable because of the algorithms it is defined. Right? If you are, sir, you can get it out. Sir, what if I enter unintentionally? It's an error. I just entered something on a blockchain which is wrong. What can I do? You need to pass a reversal entry if it is accounting. You need to write an amendment entry if it is on a particular agreement. So all those things you can do, but you can never delete, erase, modify a record on blockchain. Yeah. So how? Please do research. Please do watch my video. I'm going to share the YouTube channel where these questions will be answered. If I explain it now, it will be definitely go above our head. It's a technical concept somehow, right? So for now, a blockchain is a database. It is distributed, transparent, secure, and immutable. That's all. Great. So just to summarize these features, it is something which can never be corrupted, right? Let me say an example. You want to do a fraud, bro, right? You want to apply for a company and you want to apply some false certificates or whatever, right? So how you can do? You can appoint a hacker and you can modify the records in the university databases. Okay, that's what happening, or chances are there. But here with the blockchain, assume your university or some other university has deployed these records on a blockchain, right? And since the blockchain is having a feature that it can never be corrupted, your records will never be falsified, and your employers will have access to that particular database, and you can see the trust, you can see the security it is bringing, right? Entire economy needs that. I can never trust a party. I can never trust a Manikanta if I transfer some amount, or if I am entering into an agreement. He might falsify his words tomorrow. But what if an agreement between myself and Manikanta is put on a blockchain? That can never be modified, and we can have a single version of truth. That's the first feature of blockchain. Second, it's a decentralized technology. As you can see, these multiple nodes will be hosting their databases, and no person will be the owner. If this is hacked, data will be flowing from this, data will be flowing from this. Correct? Sir, you are telling it is hacked. Then they can see the data. No, that is something called the security. I'm going to demo and show you. Right? It can never be decrypted. Right? And yeah, it is distributed. It helps in faster settlements, and it is building the trust. So you missed this. How about faster settlement? Because all the transactions, all the databases are happening on a blockchain. So it's a single ledger, right? It's a single ledger. Due to this, it's a faster settlement. Let me give a very practical example to summarize the faster settlement. I'm in Bahrain, right? Last 2 years back, I was in Bahrain. I want to transfer certain amount to Indian bank account. Of course, that is what the people will do if they go abroad, correct? So just imagine the time it takes. It used to take at least 2 days to get my money transferred from Bahrain to India, because there are a lot of intermediaries that are involved. Bahrain, I need to deposit in BBK, Bank of Bahrain and Kuwait. That need to talk with the custodian bank of Bahrain. That will communicate with the custodian bank of India. Indian domestic bank will be communicated and amount will be settled. This takes at least 2 days. If it is a holiday, I'm leaving it to you. Right? Because Bahrain will be, Arabian countries will be having a lot of holidays, and you can see the calendars, right? So that's a system of the time it used to take. Why? Because data is flowing from 4 different databases: database of Bahrain Bank, database of custodian Bahrain Bank, database of Indian custodian bank, database of ICICI Bank. All these communications should flow, all these approvals should happen, and then my money will be deposited. So how blockchain will help in this case? Because in the blockchain, all these 4 banks will be on a same network. Getting it? Same network. All the banks are hosted on a same network. Information flow is happening on a real time, and transactions get settled on a matter of seconds. And that is what the idea behind Bitcoin. I'll touch that definitely in the next 10 minutes, right? So these are the features of blockchain. It can never be corrupted. It is decentralized. It is secured. It is distributed. It is fast, and it brings the trust, right? Right. So how a transaction happens on a blockchain, let me just tell you overall. As I told you, a transaction which say, let me give a real example. If I want to transfer certain amount to Manikanta in a form of Bitcoins, I'm going to send via app, and that request will be hosted to a lot of computers, because blockchain is something which is hosted on a lot of computers. It will be hosted on the network, and any one of the computer, any one of the miner who is hosting that computer will be able to approve this transaction, and that will be added to this particular block, and Manikanta will receive the amount. Sir, what if I want to falsify this record? Can I do? No, because it is in the blockchain. So whatever amount I'm transferring to Manikanta, it is recorded on a blockchain, and either he, me, or even a hacker can never falsify that record. So that I can say that, yes, Manikanta, I have transferred you so and so amount. You can never falsify your words. Correct? The same way, I have given an example of transaction. The same way, take an example of educational credential. If your university is putting all your certifications, qualifications on a blockchain, no one can falsify that, and you can show that as a true copy to your employers, right? So that is what the industry use cases are happening in India. Okay, so just to make it more interactive, let me show you the hash function, how that works. Hope I'll get that particular. Yeah, I got the link. Okay, so this is a very live example. I'm not sure you might have got introduced to this, right? So now I'm going to type a word, and I'm going to encrypt it, and I'm going to show you how this is being stored on a blockchain. Okay, so say me a word. Maybe I'll type college, or say let me type a prem. Okay, PREM. See, P is capital, PREM is something I typed. I did click on encrypt. So this is called hash. This is something being stored on a blockchain, not something like a prem, not something like English or numbers. This particular script is something being stored on a blockchain. Yeah, and this is so unique that this is a one-way encryption, my dear friends, which means from prem you will be able to get this, but if you have this, you can never go back to prem. Got it? So despite hacker accessing a particular node, particular computer in the blockchain data network, he will never be able to decrypt and see the information. And this is called SSA256 hash mechanism. Yeah, you can see it starts with C, all those stuff, C56F 98, all this stuff, right? Now I'll enter P in a small letter, and you can see the difference. It's never guessable. You can see it's a complete change. If I type small letter, yeah, again it's complete change. CEF745, it completely changed. So this is a sort of encryption mechanism, or one of the highest levels of encryption mechanisms these blockchains are going to use. And hence, as a result, no hacker, despite he is accessing the information, he'll never be able to decrypt that. First case, he'll never be able to access, but despite he using all this hash power or all this computational power, if he's able to get it, he will not be able to decrypt that. That is what blockchain is getting into picture, right? So that is those are the unique features of blockchain, and that is how a transaction happens on a blockchain. So if you see, there is no single authority, despite the current scenario where a single party is taking your request, accessing your request, and validating it. But here you can see it is something which is hosted across number of computers, and any person can accept your request, validate your request. So that you can see it is happening in a faster manner, and you can see there is no inaccessible, error not found, all those errors. Okay, the network will be always up and running, and any people will be able to access the services in a real time, right? So those are the fundamentals or the features of a blockchain, right? So just to tell you, I think these are something theoretical just to understand. Yeah, these are the various types of blockchain. Something is private blockchain, the other thing is a public blockchain. So ideally, since you are the first time getting introduced to these terms, I would recommend to go through these private and public blockchains. Hybrid and federated are the extended things of private. So just to tell you what is public, what is private. Public blockchain is something anyone can use it, right? Let me give an example. Sir, what? Give me an example. Okay. Say tomorrow our other data is kept on a blockchain. because it is secure, because we know that all these features government has realized it, and they have worked on a use case where they are putting things on a blockchain. And what is the reason? Anyone should verify. If I'm meeting you, if I want to verify your other data, I need to do it. So that's a public blockchain. In that case, they will be using a public blockchain because anyone should be a user to that blockchain. And what is private, sir? Say tomorrow myself and being with some other persons like you, I'm starting a company. Since it is a company, I don't want all the people to view my records, right? I don't want all the people, all the public to see what is my sales, what is my revenue, what is my products, all those stuff. No, correct. So in that case, I'll be creating a private blockchain, which means single organization like my company will be the owner of this network, and every others will be the users. When I say every others, these are the employees. Correct? Sir, why you are telling all this? Where are the finance use cases? I'll tell you, definitely I'm going to show you the use cases. But before that, you all need to know the basics and the fundamentals of blockchain, right? So hybrid and federated, I'm not going to discuss now, but you can see once you get an understanding about public and private. Great. So now comes the question. Which comes first, blockchain or Bitcoin? Yeah, let me give an introduction about both of these before I ask a question. Blockchain, it's a database. Bitcoin, it's a currency, right? So Bitcoin is a currency which has come because someone, say Satoshi Nakamoto is the person, he wants that. Why I need to depend on a bank to transfer? That's the idea behind him. Why I need to pay annual charges to a bank? Why I need to wait for a certain transaction to confirm if I want to send money to abroad? Why I need to do all that? Can I have a universal currency? Right? If it is in India, it is INR. If it is US, it is dollar. If it is Singapore, it is something else. Why why do I need to maintain that much currencies and wait for getting those settlements, transaction settlements? Can I have a peer-to-peer currency, which means it's a universally one currency and I can use it across the universe, across the planets. So that's the idea behind this particular guy, Satoshi Nakamoto. And with that concept, the Bitcoin came into picture. And you can see currently the price of Bitcoin is somewhere around 25,000 USD. And it was started in 2008 approx with a $0.0001, right? So that's the growth it has. Yeah, it's a daddy of all the cryptocurrencies, by the way. Okay. So now comes the question. And I want a vote of hands. Which came first? Is it the Bitcoin or the blockchain which has come first? Just give a wild guess. If it is Bitcoin, I want people to raise their hands. Yeah, I can see you all.
Is it
Please raise your
Bitcoin?
hands. Okay, so is it Bitcoin? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many of you are voting for blockchain? Okay, so I go with the majority. It's the Bitcoin that came first. So the idea behind all this blockchain currency is that can I have a peer-to-peer settlement mechanism? And that's the idea. So with that idea, he proposed Bitcoin, and our people, our enterprises, what they have done, they have taken out the technology separately from a currency, and that technology is called blockchain. Got it? So just to demarcate between these two, one is currency, another is database, or another is a platform, or another is the technology. Got it? So Bitcoin is the currency that works on a blockchain system. Blockchain is an independent technology. So what our people has done? So this idea is super, and this idea is more secure. This is more trustable. Can I take the technology and apply it on the enterprises, on the educational institutes, on the health sector, on so and so, on the e-commerce? So that's how the blockchain was taken out. And with that visualization, we are having hundreds and hundreds of use cases, startups working on this blockchain. Right? I'm going to show you what is happening in India as well. Okay. So before that, before talking to the main topic of blockchain and finance, I'm going to tell you one more keywords, which are smart contracts and NFTs, right? So why you are telling all this? Because these are something which are working on a blockchain. If you hear that, okay, an NFT was created, that was created on a blockchain. If you hear tomorrow a smart contract is being created, that was created on a blockchain, right? So I just want to give a brief on what these two things are about. Okay, smart contract. Sir, how to understand this? Let me give a very practical example. Listen to me very carefully. I'm giving a very, very, very realistic example. Okay, right. So I entered into an agreement with Manikanta. Okay, so he asked me to teach something, and he told me that I'll pay you so and so by day one by day two this much. Okay, it's a two-day contract, and he told me that I'll pay you by day one 50%. The 50% I'll pay you by day two. Okay, so can I trust him? That's the first question coming into my mind. The answer is no. Maybe I don't know Manikanta, and I'm dealing with online calls and all. I can't trust him. What is the guarantee that he'll pay me if I deliver the content by day one? Okay, how this situation will be dealt in practical words? What we'll do? You can guess it. We'll write an agreement. We'll get it signed by Manikanta. We'll get it signed by me. We'll get it signed by so and so witnesses, and we'll execute it. Tomorrow, if he does something, I can sue him. There is a contract. There are witnesses to this contract, right? But why to follow all these things? Why can't I rely on a technology which will promise me that I'll be paid? Remember the word I use, which promise me by the technology itself. It should promise me that yes, Prem, go ahead. This technology will pay you. Or the technology is coming and talking to me, bro, I'm there. Don't worry. Deliver the content. He will definitely pay you. Is there such a technology which I can rely on? The answer is no. Due to that only, we are relying on the courts, legal law, all those stuff. Right? Now, I'm introducing to you a smart contract. So what does it do? Okay, Manikanta, I know this blockchain, bro. I have the smart contract creators. Let's do one thing. So, bro, what is it? Okay, let's code this in a code program. In a program, let's code this. Okay, so let's write a script saying that okay, contract between Prem and Manikanta. These are the bank account numbers. If condition, if Prem has delivered the content on day one from this bank account, Prem bank account should be debited by, sorry, credited by 1,000 rupees at 5 o'clock. Okay, on the day two, if Prem has delivered the content, transfer the remaining 50% of say 1,000 rupees from Manikanta bank account of so and so to Prem bank account of so and so at 5 p.m. This is the code we have designed it. Imagine, just imagine, guys, because I can't show it practically. Just imagine this is the code that we have developed, and this code we are putting on a blockchain and we are running it. Okay, let's come into practical. So day one, I hosted the Zoom. I have given the session. Manikanta has acknowledged that. Now at 5 o'clock, what is happening? Without Manikanta's involvement, his bank is getting debited. My bank is getting credited. And the most important thing is he has no control on it once he acknowledges my service. Done. It's all automated. These things work in a smart city, right? So just imagine that scenarios, that assumptions, right? So that's how a smart contract works. All these terms and conditions will be coded on a smart contract, and that will be implemented on the blockchain, and that will be running by itself. When the things are met, when the conditions are met, transactions will be settled. Sir, let me give a enterprise application. This is so imaginative. Okay, take an example of insurance. I'm a farmer and I have insured with a company saying that if rains are falling this year, if my crops are going wastage because of rains, I want to get my amount. Right? So how a smart contract works? Smart contracts will take the data from weather forecast database. If it rained on that day, amount will be paid to me. That's it. No documents, no verifications, no nothing. Because this is verifying in the weather reports database. And yes, there is a rainfall on so and so area. Claim is settled. Katam. No words. Sir, give me one more example. Air freight insurance. If I'm getting delayed by my flight by so and so 30 minutes, I should get paid. Enter into a contract with insurance company, and they'll talk to the airline databases. Your claim will be settled. These are the smart contracts, dear friends. And why these are on a blockchain? You can ask me, sir, can I deploy this on a normal databases? You can surely do, but you have the control. You can revoke it, you can stop it, but on a blockchain, you can never do. And that is how smart contracts are built on a blockchain. Got it? Great. So I hope you understood the use cases. Now let's go to the finance use cases of blockchain. Right? So you have given me examples of other things. Give me something in finance. Okay. So these are the possible use cases in finance. Right? The first use case is triple accounting system. Right? So what is this triple accounting system? Okay. Again, the same example. Myself and my friend Manikanta want to do a trade transaction. I'm sending him some goods. He'll be paying it to me. It's a simple sale transaction, right? So why blockchain here, right? We are supposed to declare our information, right? Our financials, right? What if he doesn't declare? Correct. No, this is what happening. Boosting up the sales, boosting. I mean, syncing up the purchases, increasing the expenses, all these things are happening by these enterprises, all these sort of malpractices. But what if they are bringing these things on a blockchain? Okay, let me give an example. Can I do a boosting up sales with my friend? Correct? No, I'll tell him over the call, bro, please increase your sales. Okay, right? So that you can go more with the profits and all. But what is the blockchain bringing? Blockchain is bringing a mechanism where these gaps are filled. The invoice I'm raising will be put on a blockchain, right? The expense he is raising is also being put on a blockchain, so that a record is there in my financials, in my ERP, in his ERP, and one more record is there in the blockchain. So it's a triple accounting. Information is being stored at three places. One in my database, another the seller or the purchaser database, another in the blockchain. Sir, why can't you maintain two records? What they use? What if I modify? Correct now? I'm maintaining my SAP in my company. I can easily edit the SAP records. I have a super admin access, bro. Can't I do that? Do you think whatever sale volume being declared by a company is so genuine? They can do it, right? Or can someone tell me no, they can't do? It's the Oracle, it's the SAP is being implemented by those companies. They're having all those access. Correct. They can certainly modify the records, but with a blockchain, they can never do. So that is how the revolutionary concept of triple accounting came. And with this concept, no people can alter the financials. Yeah. So I see the recording was stopped. Can someone resume the recording? Okay. So that's the reason behind implementing blockchain in a financial segment, in the operations, in the business operations, right? The second thing is audit. So how that helps? See, any information being stored on ERPs is being audited, right? But what if those records are changed? The audit is wrong. But how about these audit being carried on a blockchain databases, right? Say, for example, a transfer pricing is happening or international sale transaction is happening. So both the parties will be putting these records on a blockchain so that that information will be available for audit for the infinite number of years. So this audit domain has found blockchain so useful that any information can be bought on a blockchain and that can be accessed by the auditors and they can do the audit, right? So that's the revolution that blockchain is going to bring into these particular audit domains. Taxation. Entire GST networks will be on a blockchain someday, my friends. Entire e-filing, income tax filings, all these databases, all the e-way bills, all these things will be on a blockchain, so that you are not even required to file the returns. Everything will be automated. So these databases, interconnected databases, will be knowing what is the sale you did, what is the purchases you did, and bro, this is the net tax you need to pay to us, please pay. That's it. No records, no manual entry of all the data, no manual reconciliations between two ledgers. All this will be eliminated. And that those are the use cases blockchain is offering to the taxation department. And just to give you a use case, I think it was in UK, the government has implemented blockchain for tourism people, I mean tourists, so that they can give the duty back whenever they are leaving the country. And these things are happening on a blockchain because that is transparent, that is secure, and that is having a faster settlement, right? So these are the use cases happening across the countries, right? And we do have a lot of importance on the transfer pricing because these are international transactions that are happening. Data will be moving from one country to other country, and whenever you want to audit this, you need to have a lot of documentation. Remember the transfer pricing, I think you might be aware, all those methods of calculation of arm's length transaction price. So all these things, they can't rely on any other systems. Rather, if this is something being put on a blockchain, they can refer to that and they can be sure that, okay, this is the price, this is the genuine price with which it has happened. Next, trade finance, a beautiful domain where these blockchain use cases are happening. So what is trade finance? Any loans are, any business loans will be coming under trade finance. That can be bill discounting, that can be letter of credit, that can be export financing. All those stuff will be coming under trade finance. So how this is happening? Let me give a very basic example. If I want to do an export transaction, dear friends, to say US or say to Dubai, right? And I don't have a cash, of course. No company will be doing with all the cash transactions. So what is currently happening? They will go with this sale order to the bank, and bank will take its own time, and they'll give the letter of credit after a week. Yeah, the ideal time is 5 to 7 days because they need to do a lot of documentation. Will be there. Export is not a small thing. Shipping bill, fumigation, all this warehousing, all these I mean, I think Steamobile, all those sort of stuff will be there in a export transaction, right? Almost I can say 25 documents will be there. All these documents will be verified by the banker in India, banker in say UAE. Both these banks will be verifying, and they'll take their own 5 to 7 days, and they'll give the LC copy to the company, and based on that they'll export. Correct? And based on that the supplier will be paying it, or the banker will be paying it. That's the traditional trade finance. Now what is happening on a blockchain, or what are the problems in this scenario? Tomorrow, what if these documents are fake? Countries will lose billions and billions of dollars. Correct? So what blockchain is bringing is, it is building a platform where all these documents can be stored forever, so that no person can falsify the records tomorrow. Sir, what if a false document is uploaded on the blockchain? You told you can never recover it. But how? And I did a fraud. How you can trace? Bro, blockchain is having all the logs. You can see which party in that company, which employee has uploaded that particular document. That logs will be there. In the traditional ERP, that is what missing. A people like me, who is with a fraudulent mind, is entering the system, deleting the logs, coming out with the data modification. But with the blockchain, that is not at all possible. Even if I want to do a fraud, I can modify the record, but my log will be recorded on a blockchain, and I can never erase that. So it is easy to catch me. The same thing with industry applications also. If someone can modify the information, it is first thing they can never do. Second thing, even if they do, because there are certain exceptions to any technology. Let me be very clear, right? Even if they do, they'll be able to catch the people who has done, because it is having all logs, right? So that is what the trade finance area, and I can see a lot of use cases. Whenever I Google it, the blockchain use cases, I can see 30% of use cases are on trade finance, because India is a country with a lot of MSMEs, and they want finance, and these startups are automating, these banks are automating the way they are onboarding, and they're getting the loan settled on a blockchain, right? And the last two use cases, integrations with ERPs, of course, that is what happening with the triple accounting system. And I have already told you how fast the cross-border payments and settlements will be happening on a blockchain. Why? Because it's a common ledger. It's a single universal ledger. You can say a blockchain is a single universal ledger, or simply it's a database, right? So those are the use cases, my friends. I can explain a bit more on these domains as well, but I feel this is an introduction session, so that takes time. Okay, so just to visualize where are we. This slide is dating back to, I think, 1.5 years back. So a lot more use cases are there. You can see, I'm very happy to see that Telangana or the Hyderabad is something that has a lot of use cases. If you see, just Google it, my friends. What is the blockchain capital of India? You'll see Telangana, because the recent T-Hub development is giving its home to a lot of startups who are working in this blockchain domain. And you can see massive increase in the startups that are working on a blockchain, especially from Telangana, right? So if you see, land registrations are something happening on blockchain, chit funds operations are happening on a blockchain, microfinance, the trade finance, it's something happening on a blockchain. Educational certifications is something happening on a blockchain, and these are from Telangana. No matter, no surprise, tomorrow if you receive your education certificates on a blockchain, and that are valid for your life, no one can change it, everyone can verify it, and all these trust factors will be there. Yeah. So just to make it live, I'm going to share one of the use case. So this is from CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education. So what this particular institute, or what this particular thing has done is, they have put all the students' records on a blockchain. This use case dating back to a year, if I'm not wrong. So they mentioned that it's an academic blockchain document, ABCD. So this is the key term they have used. So this particular document can be used by various educational institutes, employers, for verification at the time of admission of higher studies or a job offers. See that this word speaks everything. This just sentence speaks everything. So what is the purpose? So to say tomorrow your institute, Loyola College or St.Ann College, is issuing your certificate that is on a blockchain, that you can show just like your Aadhaar card, or a digital Aadhaar card, or the digital portal. You can show to your employers, prospective employers. If you want to pursue for higher studies, you can show that particular document, and that's a single proof. Let me give a very practical scenario how this background check is happening in companies, right? They'll be sending whether Prem has worked in your company to my previous company. They'll take their own time. They'll reply via email. What if I have a deal with my previous company HR? It's easy. Yes, bro, Prem is a so and so talented guy. Take him into your company. Bro, I did a fraud. I did a handshake with the HR and I get the things done. But these things are going to be eliminated with the blockchain, because these are something stored on a blockchain, and no person, remember, no person can change these things. Just, I want you guys to visualize on the enterprise applications, trade finance, audit, taxation. Just visualize your use cases. What if blockchain comes suddenly into these domains? What is the trust it is going to bring? What is the security it is going to bring? What is the accuracy it is going to bring to the world, to the India, or whatever you are imagining, right? So that is the need that we have for blockchain. And those are the various proven use cases. You can see a lot of states are implementing on a blockchain the various use cases. Some state, Rajasthan, is working on health records. Some state is working on supply chain, something on insurance, land registrations. Almost everything is covered in India, right? And you can see enterprises. Facebook is working, Apple is working, Google, Ford, Toyota, Airways, British Airways, insurance company MetLife, supply chain Walmart, mobile Samsung, Nestle, food sector, Masek, trade finance, or the trade, global trade, FedEx, delivery, Prudential, yeah, that's an insurance, Alibaba Group, Tencent gaming. You name any sector, music, travel, real estate, automotives, storage, cybersecurity, credit history, education, energy, any sector you name it, we have the use cases in a beta stage or in a deployment state across the world. Right? Sir, why you are telling all this? See, you people might be going with the interviews tomorrow. You people wants to go for a job tomorrow. But what if your company is implementing a blockchain? You can get an entry to that particular position. You can guide, bro, this is my domain. I want blockchain in my domain. And I can be a project lead for this particular segment. I can be an SME. I know the blockchain, what transparency things I know. So I can give you an idea where we want blockchain. And this is how you can showcase yourselves. You can get a competitive advantage across your peers and you can get the job for you, right? And believe me, my friends, the process of entering data, passing accounting entries, bookkeeping, tax filings, all those are going to be automated, and it's already automated. It's going to be completely automated soon or later. So you are not an accountant, you are not a finance guy, you are not a advisory guy for that matter. You are someone who is a problem solver, who is a person who is giving out the ideas to implement, who is driving these projects. You want to have more skills, not simply bookish knowledge, right? So to have that, I'm recommending these blockchain courses, recommending these RPA things to understand, so that you can convince or you can I can say impress your employers and get the jobs with the highest salaries. And this is what the differentiation factor every one of us are having. I'm a CA, I can get a CA easily replaced by my company, provided if I have a knowledge of blockchain, my company can't replace me because they can't find a finance guy having experience on a blockchain, having knowledge on a blockchain so easily. If you're someone, you can secure the position forever. Take it from my side. Okay. So these are the possible use cases in energy sector. So a lot of things to do. Maybe possible I can share the PPT so that you guys can, yeah, see, this is the valid use cases in banking. Blockchain is going to revolutionize each and every activity of a banking. Maybe in the next seminar, next session, you are going to touch all these. Yeah, what fintech is happening. You can see them saying lot of interesting stuff. You can see KYC is being done automatically. KYC is being said across the banks, across the global banks. Let me give a very practical example. I'm going to ICICI Bank. I'm submitting all my KYC, and they'll say, okay, they'll give me the account number after 5 days. What if I want to open a bank account in SBI? Do I need to follow the same process? Yes or no? Correct. And how much time does SBI will take? Again, one more week to verify all the KYC. But what if they are following a common blockchain? It's already there, bro. Simply go and verify like your educational certificate. Yes, this is KYC verified. 1 second, done. It is shared across all the banks, HDFC, HSBC, whatsoever, Standard Chartered, whatsoever, international. You go anywhere, your data is already KYC verified. No need of waiting, no need of banks spending time. Imagine the count it is going to save, the employee count, the cost. or the activity fastness, the turnover of account opening, how much time it is going to save at the cost of so much secure trust, all these things embedded into blockchain technology, right? Same thing with smart cities, stock markets. Again, smart stock markets, no need of waiting for T plus 2 settlements. With a blockchain, it's T plus 2 seconds. Sell a share, get it settled, receive the money. No need of T plus 2. That's what the stock markets. Remember the crypto markets, they work 24 by 7, no holidays, no nothing. Instant settlements on a blockchain. It's already there. Stock markets are updating that technology and bringing it here. What crypto markets are already having. It's simple as that, right? So those are the use cases. I think we are reaching 12:15. I think it's time to shift to RPA. And before that, I do have a small thing on the career spot of finance professionals, right? So with this knowledge, remember my friends, whatever I told you is an introduction. And I truly believe that I have given an open mind to you to explore what is blockchain more and more. I have given an introduction, I would say, right? You explore more and more, do a certifications, do some, you watch some YouTube channels and get a proper understanding on blockchain, technical understanding. If you are so interested, that will definitely help you, right? With that skill, you can act as one of these positions, blockchain consultant. Tomorrow companies can contact me or you and ask, so this is my company, these are my operations, where can I implement blockchain? Give me a use case, and you will refer all the operations and you can say, bro, this is the area 1 you can implement blockchain, this is the area 2 you can implement, this is the area 3 you can implement blockchain. Give it a try, ask your stakeholders, give it a vote, and you are a consultant to implement blockchain. That's the first profession that is going to emerge in the recent days. Second thing, blockchain auditor. Say a company has already implemented the blockchain, and you people need to verify that, or you can be an employee as well. There's nothing wrong. You need to be a separate outsider of a company. No, within a company you can be a consultant. People will reach you. Your CFO, CEO will reach you and ask your advice. Mr. M so and so employee, where can I implement that? And that is what is happening with my current company. I'm an SME. With the knowledge, I'll be able to shortlist the activities and I'll be able to drive the project. And you not be a consultant. When I say consultant, no, you not be an outsider. You can be an employee and you can still provide those services. And in return, you can get the hike. You can secure the position, to be very practical, right? And blockchain auditor, you can be blockchain bloggers. There are very less people who can create the content on a blockchain. Very less people, right? Because they don't know the technology. They don't know the use cases, but they don't know the technology. They know the operations. But you people, being known the technology plus the business operations, you can write the blogs, right? You can do research on the product, all these things. Yeah, you can be a project manager for the blockchain. That's the highest position you can get. Yeah, you can get internships if you're someone who wants to study, still in the study phase. You can get these internships listed on Binance website or any crypto exchanges website. Just go there. If you're interested, do a proper research and apply for those positions. And my dear friends, just an advice, don't expect that you need to know all this coding stuff. No, those are not our stuff. We are a finance professionals. We are the functional consultants, and we are required to give the ideas. That is more than enough. But if you are so interested, then learn the programming, small programming stuff and all. That's up to you. Great. So those are the careers for finance professionals, right? So I think we are on time. At 12:14 we are stopping what is all about blockchain. So any doubts, or I'll give a 1 minute pause and I'll go to RPA. And that is something so imaginative. I'm going to show the videos as well, right? So any doubts or anything that you want to modify my delivery or whatsoever feedback? Yeah, just a minute, I am going to pause. Right. So if there are no questions, I think I need to pick the next topic. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Ma'am, if I hear you right, you're asking me about the limitations. Okay. So limitations, the Can I? Actually, ma'am, the voice was very low. So can someone type the question? I mean, who are near to the system, can someone type it in the Zoom? Yeah, thank you so much. Ma'am,
Then
I'm
were
so
you able to
sorry.
listen?
No, it was very low, ma'am. Can someone type in the chat?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, please type in the chat.
Yes. Issues and limitations. So give
Thank you
me a
so much
second,
for
sir.
the question.
Sorry.
Yeah, please. No problem, no problem. Take your time and please type it.
No, we have to use our chat box. No, here it is. Type
Yeah.
your issue sign.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Issue sign limitations of blockchain, sir. Ma'am is asking about actually.
Litigations, ma'am, or limitations?
Yeah. Can you see the chat box now, sir?
Limitations, right? Perfect. Okay. Issues and limitations of blockchain.
Right.
Ma'am, the first thing is understandability of the concept. Yeah, people still confused with the blockchain, or people still confused with the blockchain and the Bitcoin, and they ignore this particular technology. So I would say this is the first limitation of people trying to implement actively on the blockchain. And the second limitations, no one is aware of the cost this particular technology is demanding. Yeah, that's the first and the foremost limitation, because if it is RPA, which I'm going to talk, people know, okay, this is the cost I'm going to implement, this is the server cost. But with a blockchain, the infrastructure is so heavy that we need at least, if it is a private blockchain, we need at least two to hundreds of computers just to host the network. If it is a public blockchain, it's a lakhs or and thousands of computers that we need. So this particular establishment cost, how much it takes, this is something which is not at known. So that's the first and the foremost limitations of implementing a blockchain. And the second thing, people think that this is something which is going to make them more accountable. Of course, this is doing that, and due to that limitation, people are not ready to accept this particular change. So these are the limitations or the functional limitations of implementing a blockchain. So just to summarize, cost is something which is a major limitation. Understanding this particular technology is a limitation for now, and due to that, we do have many states, many colleges doing this particular blockchain as a course, implementing this as a course, right? So that's the second limitation, or the practical limitation, I would say. And the third issue is the cost, I have already covered. And just to add more, the tech architecture is not something that robust. And one more limitation is that we want this particular technology to work autonomously, right? It's a decentralized technology. So how to establish this? Okay. So just to give you a more practical example, if you are someone who wants to store students' records on a database, you need to agree on how this is happening automatically. So integration with IoT devices is something that's a limitation, right? Say tomorrow I'm purchasing an iPhone or a product and saying that, okay, this product is manufactured in China. So what is the proof that it is actually manufactured in China? Unless and until it has integrations with IoT sensors. When I say IoT sensors, this product should be scanned from a warehouse in China when it is coming out. So that's no manual intervention, correct? So such an integration with IoT devices is something which is a current limitation of blockchain. Okay, great. I think it was a great question, and there are more limitations also which comes out of our discussions. So for now, I can say cost, understanding this technology, making it work autonomously, integrations with IoT are some of the limitations.
Thank you very much, sir, for the answering the question.
Great. Great. So I think we are good to go. We are at 12:20. So, okay. So let me start what exactly is RPA. And I think if we have time, I can spare 10 to 20 minutes, even half an hour also for the doubts. Okay. So next session, guys, I think completely come out of blockchain. We are going to learn or understand one more a trending technology which is currently in place, which is automation. Simply saying it, is as robotic process automation. Sir, when I say robotic, do we have real robots just like the way we have seen in the movies, Chitti the robot or Indiran the robot, whatsoever? You can be a fan of Rajnikant or Shah Rukh Khan, whatsoever. Those robots are there, or is it something? What is it? Are you referring that a hard robot will be there, a physical robot will be there? Of course, no. Let's try to find the answers in the subsequent slides. Okay, great. So before that, I have a questions to ask you all since we have time. So how many of you have heard about this technology? Robotic process automation. Can I get a vote of hands? Robotic process automation. How many of you have heard of it? Any hands? Okay, maybe I'm not able to see any hands. Okay, that's fine. Okay, great. And how many of you think that we will be replaced by bots in future? For this at least. How many of you think that, okay, humans are someone who is replaced by these bots? In the companies, let me be very clear. In the companies, yeah, because this is something happening. You can see a lot of companies are, uh, I mean, removing the employee contracts, and because of the reason that the work is automated. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to play a video on how our work is getting automated, right? Perfect. Okay. So just to give an introduction about RPA, before that, I'm going to tell you what are the technologies that we have currently. And you will be amazed by seeing these particular things. There are a lot of technologies that we do have in place. And just to tell you, we are running in Industry 4.0 revolution. Yeah, Industry 1.0, where we have just, I can say, invented the power. Industry 2.0 is something where we have uh, started producing in huge quantities, bulk quantities. Okay. Industry 3.0, certain things of automation, and currently in Industry 4.0. And what is the technologies that we have currently? Yes, we have cybersecurity, we have cloud computing. I'm not explaining these things because I hope you might be knowing, but I'll explain some of the things. We have mobile technologies, everything we can do in a mobile. Accounting entry we can pass, students admissions we can do in a mobile. Students, if they want to download the admission tickets or whatsoever, they can do everything. They can give the attendance also via mobiles. So all these things we have machine to machine communications. This is something we can see in the uh, car manufacturing, automotive manufacturing. Two machines will be talking and they will be able to give the product delivery out. We have 3D printing, dear friends. 3D printing means I can create this bottle as it is using the 3D printer. Simple. I want a print of this bottle. I can get it using a 3D printing, and I can have the same dimensions as an output. Yeah, even just to give you a heads up, L&T is building buildings using 3D printing. You can get the exact building print and installed. That is called the 3D printing. Just do a more research post this particular session. We have advanced robotics during these surgeries, all these health operations and all. We have softwares on big data or analytics, data analytics. We have all these tools. We have IoTs. We can talk to our Alexa. Hope this is switch on. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, we do have smart devices like Alexa, bulbs, smart ACs, smart TVs, CC cameras, smart CC cameras, all those stuff. We have RFID technology. We can simply scan and get the data. And the most important thing, we have cognitive computing. So what is this, sir? Sir, we all know all these things. You're talking about cybersecurity, mobile technologies. We all know all these things. What is cognitive computing? Which means that computers are able to think and act. Just they're able to think instead of a programming. It's not a programming. They're able to think and act using their artificial intelligence. Those technologies also we have in this Industry 4.0 domain. So with these technologies, with a mix of these technologies, our requirement is getting minimal day by day, right? If you want a suggestion, your robot can give, your computer can give with its artificial intelligence. You don't need a CA, you don't need an auditor to give advice, you don't need a taxation expert to give an advice. They are already have expert systems, and these things are able to deliver the output. Remember, my friends, we are in such a domain, such a time where we have all these technologies working in place, implemented in place, right? So with that introduction, let me tell you what is RPA. So just to give a heads up on these statistics, there was a survey conducted in 2022 by these advisory firms or RPA advisory firms, and they say that 50% of Indian companies are ready to deploy automation by 2024. just 50%, and that too in India. So just to make our discussion relevant to India, I have taken the Indian context. You can see the link also if you want to. I can share these links at the end of the session. Okay. So they want to deploy RPA by 2024, just an year or an year and a half, right? 50% is not something small, right? And yeah, this is one more article which is from US. As a COVID responsive measure, again, I can see 80% of the companies wants to invest in automation. See, people can't come home, come to office, they can't verify the documents, and they want to get work done automatically or with accuracy. What is the measure? It's automation. They can train their robots and they can get the work done. I'll show you. I'm going to show you two things: the video, and the another thing, I'm going to make you visualize how RPA works. Okay, remember, in the next 2 minutes or the next 5 minutes, I'm going to do these two activities. Okay, right. And so be with me. So it's high time to decide whether we want to be in this zone of human versus bots or human with bots. So what is this two? Human with bot means you accepted robots, you accepted their capabilities, you know their limitations, and you're working with bots in your companies. Second thing, you are very scared and you are losing it to your robot. Means you don't want to change yourself, you don't want to update yourself, and your bot is doing all the work and you are kept away by the company. So you are supposed to decide which zone you want to be. It's human versus bots or human with bots, and I chose the second one. Yeah, just to give an example before starting what is RPA. This is my project which has come in Gulf Daily newspaper. It's a newspaper spread across 6 Gulf countries: Dubai, Kuwait, Saudi, Bahrain, Qatar, and I'm not getting the name. Okay, so those 6 countries. Okay, so this is me who is leading the project, and you can see this particular project again. RPA, blockchain, both are technical, my friends, but still, we finance professionals can have a key role. So I'm the project manager for the entire project. So this I'm showing because you need to visualize how your future employments will be. See, this is a team of 2 developers, software people. He's the CTO, Chief Technology Officer. He's the CFO, of course, a finance guy. And I'm the project manager, who is also a finance guy. And she's the IT support, supporting these 2 guys. So if you see, you can have the positions like this in your companies, right? If you want, see, my company has 26 divisions. You can search it, Almoil International Group. It has closely 24 to 26 divisions. And people have selected me as a project manager because we know what is RPA, what is blockchain, where we can implement it. Simple. There are a lot of managers in other segments, but since they are traditional and since we are updated, we'll be getting these roles. Just believe it, expand your wings in these particular domains, and you will get the recommended or the dream profiles that you want to be. So with that purpose, I'm just going to show you this particular article. Okay, so let me be back. So what is RPA? Okay, let's visualize. Yeah, enough of this stuff of technical definitions, which I don't recommend. So just to read out, robotics are entities. Entities is a technical term, my dear friends. Robotics are programs or the softwares that can copy human actions. As simple as that. So what is robot in RPA? It's a software that can copy human actions. Let's make it simple. Process, you all know what is a process. It's a series of steps. And automation. Okay, if something is not done by me, it's automated. As simple as that. So RPA means a software that can copy human actions. So with this, I have broken the first myth. There is no physical robots. It's a software. So you are telling a software how it can copy a human can do. See, I can act. I can move my cursor. I can move my. I can click on this keyboard. Yeah, I can do all this stuff. But how can a software can do all this stuff? Yeah, it needs to press the keyboard, right? No. So let's visualize how the software is able to do all this stuff for us. Okay. Okay. So let's visualize before we see the video. Just I want you people to think for 1 minute this particular scenario, what I'm going to speak out. Okay. So assume you people have got a job. Okay. You're not even no longer in the colleges. You people got a job. Okay. You are in a company. Of course, they'll give a desktop or a laptop. Now, imagine on a fine day, say Monday, or the next very fine day, a working day, you're not going to office. Okay, you're simply watching what your office is, what things happening in your office. At 10 o'clock, your login was enabled, your system got switched on. Okay, and someone is typing your password in the chat, in the screen, login screen. Okay, and they're opening the SAP. They're typing like this. SAP is getting opened, or say Excel is getting opened. I don't have SAP, so Excel is getting opened like this, and there's no one in front of your system. It is zooming out, opening the fresh sheet, typing something, or and the other way, it is opening one more Chrome window. It is opening the email. All these things are happening, and you can see there is no one in front of your system. It is saving the file, renaming it, saving it in the folder or whatsoever. These things are happening. Just imagine you are simply watching. You are not even sitting in your chair. You are simply watching a screen turned down. SAP is opening, or this Oracle is opening, Tally is opening, Excel is opening, mail is opening. People are getting emails from your system on your name. All the things are happening. You can see the keystrokes also, because of course they want to type something. You can see someone is typing the keyboard also. Letters are printing on the screen. So this particular technology is called RPA. Got it? So I think I know this is high time to visualize. So let us see a demo right away, just to visualize how this concept works. I hope all of you are with me. So let's see the video, and then let's get back to our visualization. Okay, so I'm playing a video. I'm not sure I can share the audio of this particular computer, but let me give it a try. If it is not audible, I'm going to explain you by pausing the video. Okay, so next 3 minutes, you're going to be with me. Okay, so here comes your RPA video. Carefully watch. I'm going to explain you by giving you the subtitles in English. Yeah. Okay, so let me give an introduction before this. I'm not sure about the audio. Okay, so you are an accountant.
Yes.
Okay, and audio is shared, ma'am.
Sir, we are not able to listen the audio.
Perfect. I'm going to explain you. Okay.
Right, sir.
Right. I'm going to explain you. Okay. So we are here. Okay. So guys, you have a question, or you have a scenario to imagine. You are an accountant, and you are asked to book an invoice. Okay. When I say book an invoice, it means that sale transaction has happened. You have you have received the goods from the supplier. You have accepted the goods, and you are supposed to book his invoice. Correct? No, that's the common process every finance guy will do. He will book the invoice, and one fine day, maybe after 2 days or after 3 days, after 30 days, 40 days, whatever period time, you will be paid. Supplier will be paid. Correct? So how this activity will be happening? Can I tell you in a step-by-step manner currently? Right. So how this is happening is, I'm an accountant. I'll get an email, or in some scenario, I'll get a postal copy, hard copy. Okay, these are the invoices, bro. Please book it. I'll verify the invoice with the purchase order. I'll verify with my stores whether this is received. Quality check is done. Once everything is done, I'll open my SAP, log in with Premkasi, all these login details. I'll go to the module. I need to navigate, and I'll select the vendor and enter all the details. Correct? No, this is the process. Very practical process. Correct? I'll check the data details. If everything is perfect, I'll enter the data and I'll post the accounting entry. You can imagine Tally, you can imagine SAP, you can imagine Oracle. That's up to you. Correct? Now, how much time this takes? What if an invoice has 30 items or say 60 items, bro? What if it is a bulk invoices I have received from a vendor? See, I'm coming from L&T company. That's my first job. So just imagine how many inventory items a building will I can say take as an input. 30 that is very very less. I can say an invoice will have at least 90 items. At least if it is an import, every item, import of a machine, import of a structure to construct a building, minimum to minimum 90 120 items, line items will be there in the invoice will be like a book. And of course that's mandatory. You are exporting, you want to have a hard copy that should pass through all the shipping process and all. And that is something store people will do, and that guy will start entering into ERP. Imagine the time it takes, imagine the verification effort it takes. And the invoice value, one invoice will be running into lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. And this you can multiply with the number of operations a company is doing. Whenever you are imagining RPI, imagine a big company, bro. because you need to see how many hours it is taking, how many employees it is taking, how much time it is taking. For a small company, small process RPA is not at all required because the volume is less, right? Big players will be implementing RPA because their activities are repeated, the volume is high, the employee cost is more. Yeah, of course. I do introduce to a resource post this particular session so that you can have much more inputs on RPA, right? So let's come back to our example. Invoice booking, how much time it takes. We all know the pain points now. Now let us see how this activity is done by a robot end to end, completely. Receive the invoice by email, save it on a folder, read the contents, enter this information in the SAP, verify with tally of invoice amount with the SAP amount, book the invoice, send a mail to commit supplier stating that bro, your invoice is booked. Said this is a happy path. What if there are errors? Now the robot will send a mail to accountant saying that bro, I have seen this error. What do you want me to do? You want me to book or you want me to wait? Based on the command it is receiving, it will again process the work. Imagine how about this? And this is something you are going to see on the screen. Just see that subtitles and grab the content. I'm going to pause it whenever it is required. Okay, playing it on a full screen. First activity, saving invoices. Data reading. The relevant information is extracted by the bot. Open ERP, enter the data, send an email once work is done. Okay, so this is the brief. Now we can see robot performing these 6 steps. Step 1, downloading invoices from email. Assume in this case vendor has sent an email. Okay. Second, it is reading the content, grabbing the relevant content, opening ERP, navigating to the ERP respective module, respective screen, entering data in ERP, sending a confirmation. Now let us see how this is working. Now as an interim, this is a screen which is called UiPath Bot Builder. This is a technical. This is something will be dealt by the developers. Now let us see how this is working as a user. Bot is running. This is the email address. This also we can code it, but in this video it is being entered by the person. Just email. Now see, it is entering all these details automatically. It is going to bill module. See how fast it is filling the data from the invoices. Accounting head, accounting codes, accounting amount. All these are being entered. See this fast it works. The first one was just to visualize, it was running slowly. Now see how fast it works. Done. Send an email. See how fast it has. It's even checking the SAP whether it is open or not. If it is open, I don't need to open it again. If it is not open, then only it needs to open, right? And it has sent. There are 3 invoices in this video, so 3 emails were sent. And if you see, this email says that it was posted successfully, but for one invoice there is an error. Now let us see how that is communicated to the accountant. So what has happened here? It has identified difference with the VAT percentage. VAT on invoice is 10%, but VAT on our ERP for that item is 19%. Should I post this particular thing or do you want me to wait? If your reply is yes, please type YES. If you want me to wait, please type no. Done. And if you type no, I'll return the invoice to the supplier. That is what a mail is particular, a bot is sending an email to this particular person, accountant. Now see how the person is reacting and how the bot is reacting. Accountant is replying, yes, send to bot. Again, it resumes. Again, same flow. Yeah. So that's the way the bot works. Okay. And imagine the use cases to another level, that like this is from invoice posting. You can see the reports getting prepared. You can see the financials getting prepared by these bots in a customized format that you want. You can see the approvals, work approvals happening with these bots. Any use case. See, since I have worked in the previous company, I do have a collection of all these possible use cases a company can have, and I'm going to share you in the subsequent slides. Hope you enjoyed this particular video, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to share the audio of this particular slide video. Okay, great. Okay, so that is what a bot does in the industries, in the organizations. And just imagine, do we still require to do all this stuff? No, my dear friends, we are required to give the judgments. We are required to give the decisions on a particular project using our intelligence. We are no more a doers, rather we are a managers kind of stuff, where we are required to give the I can say the judgment or a decision on a particular task, rather than simply doing some rule based work in the companies, right? So due to that thing, I'm going to show you the video, and that's my intention behind showing this particular video. These are something which is already automated. Tomorrow a bot will be in a position to file a return of a company, to file the GST of a company, right? To even to, if the company is so advanced, they are implementing these expert systems where the company is able to speak and suggest on a particular scenario as per with the probability, right? So just to connect the dots, RPA is nothing but a visual business assistants, or the visual soft robots that can actually work like us without sitting just like us, right? It can work with any application, Tally, SAP, ERP, MS Word, MS Office, or even any application like that for that matter. Even a Citrix environment, virtual environment, any software you name it, bots are able to work it. So why this is? Can we code from the back end and can get the task done? Here comes the difference. RPA coding will be done from the front end. Like I can ask my robot to uh, target like this and type some information, it will be able to do. Code will be generated automatically from the backend, right? That's the uniqueness this UiPath is going to bring. And due to that easiness, many companies are deploying RPA bots. Yes. And of course, needless to say, they can work around the clock, non-stop, accurate, and 100% we can rely on them. Correct? With the precision, they'll work. Because they're robots, they can't do mistakes unless the programming is wrong. Correct? If the programming is wrong, certainly yes, they can do the errors, but they'll simply follow the program, right? So just to recollect these particular tech terms, so let me just decode these things, because this is something which we need to know about. Okay, so the first thing is RPA, which is something that you have seen, where bot is doing all this stuff for us. Second thing we have is artificial intelligence and a machine learning. Sir, what is these two, right? So I'm going to give you an introduction about these two terms. Again, these two are a specific domains which is having its own in-depth content and all. So let us see what is artificial intelligence and let us understand what is machine learning. Okay. So RPA is a bot which is executing a task. As simple as that. It is not using its mind. See, whenever it identified a error in ERP, error in invoice data, it simply asked the person to do what you want me to do, and I'll do whatever you wish. That's it. It is not using its mind. It is programmed in such a way. But if you are identifying a difference, please send a mail. If you are not identifying a difference, please pass an accounting entry. Done. That's an RPA. Now comes what is artificial intelligence. It is something to do with the brain, correct? So in this artificial intelligence, bots will be in a position to take a decision by itself. That is called artificial intelligence. So what is machine learning then? I know artificial intelligence, I know AI. It's a common term I'll be hearing. What is machine learning? Machine learning is a process where these computers are going to learn from the databases, from the large volumes of data. So it is through the machine learning, since it has learned, it is exercising its knowledge, which is called artificial intelligence. Got it? One is input, one is output. Input, machine learning, output, artificial intelligence. And RPA, it's just execution, nothing to do with these two topics. And the key purpose behind this particular slide is I just want you guys to know the basics of these three terms. Let's not confuse. Let's not say automation is AI. No. Let's not say AI is ML. No. There's different concepts. RPA, execution, artificial intelligence, decision making, machine learning is the way these computers are learning from voluminous data. Right? So just to differentiate, AI is the intelligence, RPA is the ability. Get it? Both are different. Intelligence means thinking, ability means doing. Okay, so AI is the mind, RPA is the body. Just to give a satirical comparison. Okay, so RPA is process driven, AI is data driven. Process driven means it does the process. If you want me to do A to B, I'll do it. But if you want me to analyze the data, that is something possible by AI. Okay, great. And machine learning is the process of these machines reading information, getting the analysis from a big volume of data, right? So that is how the machines are learning. And since it is learning, it is able to execute its intelligence by using the concept called AI. Okay, you can see this is the image I'm very much happy to share. See here, in the traditional programming, we'll give the input, we'll give the data, and hence we'll get an output. That is how our smartphones work, right? We'll give some input, program is already there, they'll give the output. But in this AI, what is happening is, in this machine learning, what is happening is, we'll give both data and output, input and output. We want the computer to design its program. And that is how the machine learning comes. Got the difference? Here we are giving input plus program. Since this the program is there, it is processing input, giving the output. But here in the ML, what is happening is, computers itself they themselves will define their program. We'll give both input and output. Okay, let me give a practical example. We'll say that, okay, if this is the temperature, this is the chances of rain, or this is the date it was rained. If this is the temperature, here it rained. Okay, like that we'll give for 30 days. Now it will create its own program and it will then give the probability. Okay, if this is the temperature, this is the chances of rain. So that way it is developing its own program from the knowledge it is gaining, and that is what called AI and ML. Okay, so that's a theoretical comparison. I want to make it short, and I want to discuss more on the use cases in finance and accounts of for RPA. Okay, in the next 15 minutes, I think we are sharp at 12:48. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to close all these use cases, and I'm going to tell you what are the careers we have. Okay, so in the finance and accounting domain, just like the way we have seen invoice booking, we can have these things done by a robot. What are those things? We can have the MIS reports being prepared by the bot. Sir, can I get this from ERP? My software is able to do. Can't I use my ERP? Are you still saying that, okay, I need to deploy a bot for these things? No. If your ERP is not capable, please implement an RPA bot so that will be able to do for us. Or traditionally, what you are doing currently, you are hiring a particular person, a finance guy for MIS purpose, only for reporting. You can see now, you can see in the portal saying that this road is only for reporting. MIS reporting core, that's the core profile that we are hiring. But here with a bot, you can make it automatic. You can make it coded, and you can get these MIS reports on a scheduled basis. Either you can get on a day basis, hourly basis, monthly basis. Bot is not getting tired. It is in a position to send you the reports in a format that you want again. Okay, in the Excel neatly drafted formats. You prepare, get it to be to the bot. Bot is going to learn the format. It is coded by the developer in such a way, and it is able to give the output with accuracy. So imagine a big company. People want to take decisions with these MIS reports where the ERP is not supported. They can truly depend on this RPA, right? That's the first and the most best use case I can say. Second, financial statements preparation. Just understanding in cases of Tally or any other ERP packages, any other lower ERP packages, you can't get the financial statements in a format that you want. Or in other case, you can't reconfigure that particular algorithm for such a cost if you are a small company. So that time you analyze how much bot is costing for you for a period of so and so, then get your bot, prepare the financials for you. And then the most important activity is reconciliations. GST reconciliation, taxes and reconciliation, intercompany transactions, all these things people will be doing. And again, the same way, currently the companies are having dedicated employees, dedicated branches only to do these reconciliations. And of course, what do you learn in a reconciliation, bro? It's all if so and so, if so and so, here if it is so and so, map, katam, reconcile. What we are going to learn in this in these activities. Of course, we might learn in the first day or the day two, or say 7 days we might learn. But if you are given a work to do for the same 365 days, will you be able to satisfy with the job description or the job profile? Of course, no. So since this is non-value added, give it to your bot. They work relentlessly, they work flawlessly, and they'll do the work done. Passing accounting entries. You know the monthly intervals or quarterly intervals or yearly intervals, companies will be investing much time on book closure, and they'll be passing a lot of adjustment entries sometimes, lot of reversal entries sometimes. All this can be coded to an RPA, and they'll be able to do it. Okay, bank reconciliations. The best thing I can talk. I can talk hours on this because the project I have shown is something I have worked for BRS. Just imagine, guys. I'll give a practical introduction before talking about this. What if you are in a company which is spread across 6 countries with 140 bank accounts in multiple currencies? Is it easy to do a reconciliation? Your books will have in one currency, bro. Your SAP, your accounting entries will be in one currency, which is your reporting currency, say INR. You are having accounts in dollar, UAE, dinars, uh, whatsoever for that matter in other countries. How you will be able to do? Your bank statement will be in different currency. Your accounting in books will be in a different currency. There will be a lot of differences between these two. Differences can be due to VAT, bank charges. I can say exchange rate differences. All this stuff. Who is going to do all this stuff for you? That is for a 140 bank accounts. It's truly non-value added for any employee to do. It's just a piece of job. So I have automated all these things. I have given the codes for each bank. Say there are 7 banks, 140 bank accounts with a 7 banks. So I have given all this coding and all, and we are able to do the BRS on a daily basis, not even monthly, not even quarterly. Daily basis on a real time, we can get the bank reconciliation done by these bots. 140 BRS statements it will prepare, send email to respective authorities, respective departments. Okay, and we can have these bots in accounts payable processing. Say once invoice is being booked, we need to pay to these creators and all. So those activities, those approvals, uh, referring to the payment terms, getting it paid, everything can be done by these bots. Receivables also. A beautiful example with the receivables. Say you are a company and your debtor has paid to you. Okay, your customer has paid to you and he is sending an email, bro, I paid to you, you account it. With what invoice, with what invoice number you are going to account it? It's a time taking, right? So one fine day I'm receiving a mail, a remittance statement saying that, okay, I have paid you so and so dollar, please account it. Now with what invoice I need to account? I need to refer my balance outlog. I need to identify with the vendor, identify the invoice, sorry, customer. I need to identify the invoice and account it. But bots will be in a position to do all this accounting, reconciliation, all this stuff, right? Planning and analysis, financial planning analysis, budgeting, so all this stuff can be done by the bots. Sometimes it can use AI, or without AI it can also prepare the budget, but you need to work on it a bit so that you will get a refined output. Three-way matching in P2P, I'm not sure how many of you know, this is something like invoice rate, PO rate, and the invoice PO and the I'm not getting this. It's a GRN rate. So all these three rates should get tallied so that you can book the invoice. Purchase order, GRN, invoice rate. All these three documents should have a agreed quantity, agreed rate. Then only you will book the invoice. Yeah. So these three things can be done by the bot. Yeah. Forex rates update, all this stuff can be done by the bot because this is all rule based. Correct. So these are some of the use cases in finance and accounts. So I'll just close in the next 10 minutes if it is fine. Yeah, I do have, yeah, last 3 slides. That's it. We can be on time, right? So these are the use cases in taxation where a bot can do GST reconciliation, return filings, vendor compliances like checking the vendor details on these tax filing portals, tax accounting, verification of GST credentials, e-filing and income tax filings of employees, and of course that is left to your imagination. So these are the various things a bot can do in this taxation domain. Now, what is something that we have for a finance professionals, right? So you can act as a subject matter expert once you know all the limitations, all these capabilities, tech architecture, RPA is required. Once you know all these things, you can be a subject matter expert. Again, let me refer to my team. So I'm a subject matter expert in that particular entire team, or the project manager for that project, and the rest all the people are users, the bot users. But we are the creators of the bot. Yeah, when I say you are the creator, you are not coding it, except that you are doing everything. Because coding is something that's a technical part, and we do have engineers to do that. Okay, so you can be a subject matter expert who can guide the engineer on what you want, get the knowledge transfer done, get the bot developed, get the testing done, say a bot is ready for working. All these things you can do except the designing. Okay, you can be a project manager, you can own entire project, you can be a representative of RPA. This is the other side of the game. Now you are not in a company, you are representing the vendor, RPA vendor, RPA agency, you are representing them, because your finance guy will speak to you and you will speak to your developer and get the things done. Okay, you can be an RPA auditor where you can verify how the bot is working. You can be a consultant as well, just like the way blockchain consultants are there. Okay, so I think with that we are closing this session. Just to tell you, just to give an introduction about the course, if you find it useful, just give a minute. Yeah, so this is my course for RPA. You can see the course contents if you are someone who wants to explore more. I have created a course based on my previous working, all these things, and I have covered almost everything. You can see some 35 sessions, 35 face-to-face videos where I'll be explaining all these things. You can find it on Unacademy. Yeah, also you can find it on Udemy. Okay, so I think that is all about the particular session for today. So just stay chatted, stay updated. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Premchand Kasi. You can simply type it and you can send me a request so that we can stay connected, and I'll be sharing updates on RP and blockchain on a daily basis. And this is my WhatsApp number or the Telegram as well. Yeah. And the YouTube channel where you can explore more on RPA on a blockchain, which is Global Finex, Global FINX. Right. So yeah, so I think we are at sharp 12:58 and it's time to close.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question, sir.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
it was okay. Yeah, I think I'm able to grab the question.
I just want to know what's the main difference between RPA and blockchain.
Perfect. Very good question. And just to tell you the difference, RPA is a scenario where bot is executing some activity without a human. Okay, that's altogether execution only. Blockchain is a database where we are storing the records. So both are different, right? So blockchain, it's a storage space where records are being stored to get it accurate, to get it secured. RPA, where you are, it's an activity where a person is doing from A to B without human involvement. Get it? I'll tell you much more practical. You are walking, that's an RPA. You are storing information onto your mind, that's a blockchain. Right? So blockchain, a database, RPA, it's execution of activities, set of activities A to B. Say a company is implementing RPA means it is automating the process. A company is implementing blockchain means it is changing the way it is storing the records, storing the data.
Thank you, sir. I have one more question. Is any software or a technology being built in use for the RPA and blockchain?
Man, can you please repeat? Is there a technology?
Software or a technology built in use in operation
Perfect.
of and blockchain?
Very good question, ma'am. First, I would like to answer this with RPA perspective. RPA, we have at least 15 softwares, at least 15 softwares where we can use and get the experience of designing RPA. The first is UiPath. That's a free tool. We can have a community edition where we all can download for free and you can build your bots. Okay, just for our educational purposes. That is UiPath. We have this Blue Prism. We have this Automation Anywhere. We have Kofax. We have SAP RPA bot. and we have something from Power Automate, which is from Microsoft. So these are the 6 tools for RPA. We have many more, but these are the 6 most, I can say, widely used tools. And for blockchain, we have enterprise applications like Hyperledger, like we have this Matrix. So these are the programming languages or the platforms on which we can build the blockchain use cases. So just to recollect and re-give you, we have Ethereum, we have Hyperledger, we have IBM blockchain, we have this Matrix. So we can use any of these programmed blockchain architectures and we can define the use cases of us. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mention Kasi. I have no words to thank you for all the pains that you have taken, but I'm very unhappy that you have got there physically. It has been an excellent session. I've been trying to sit through the best if possible, trying to capture some few words at least, and we are regretting we were not there. But you have done an excellent job of giving a detailed enumeration of how the latest new technologies work. So there's a popular demand from our students of our college that they want you to be in person in the college to conduct a workshop. Hope you will be obliged. The students of computers and business development. Hope you will be obliged to come down. I spoke to one guy also. He said we will virtual from the both of you. We will come to college and help us out in training our students on any one of these technologies. Hope you will consider my request.
Definitely, ma'am.
Much. I think unpleasant seeing the girls are busy in their own world, but as faculty, we have enjoyed thoroughly and looking forward to hear more sessions. Your session has been live streamed on YouTube, and we have also made arrangements with the other departments. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So guys, let's stay connected in the LinkedIn, or you can take my number. So whenever you have doubts on any concept, any technology term, I can at least refer you to the relevant resources. Yeah, that can be a Udemy course, that can be a YouTube video or whatsoever. I can refer to that. Thank you.
Can I have your attention once again? It is like a marriage party going on here. I don't think that there is a